Previously, the group had a brief but tense conversation as it became very clear that tensions were rising fast. In fact, it was clear enough that even Tornak picked up on it. After another round or two of sniping, they settled into a tense silence and headed back towards town. Once they were there, they decided to press forward and try to find Dag and Rain that same day so that they could put that town behind them. The wooden path they were told to follow had been recently broken, although none of them could figure out what had happened. There was also an odd rotten smell that faded as they moved further into the bayou. They stopped just before the first broken section of the path to discuss what to do. Oz suggested jumping, with the weaker members of the group having some help from others. Tornak said he could probably fix it, but it would take a little time. Taria got tired of waiting, took a running leap, landed firmly, and promptly fell straight into the swamp when the wood collapsed out from under her feet. Which is when the giant frogs appeared out of nowhere and attempted to kill everyone. Eventually, the group was able to take down all three of the frogs without anyone dying. They climbed back onto the path to move forward, although Keelan decided he'd rather swim. More on that in a bit. Zaya started in on Taria, who simply changed her appearance into that of a Traxian and shot back at her. While they sniped at each other, Tornak went ahead to patch up the next hole in the path. Around that time, Keelan realized that there were larvae burrowing into his skin from the swamp water, so he quickly climbed out to walk instead. Said larvae were already well inside him, though, with no sign of them on the surface. I'm sure nothing bad will come of that. Once Tornak finished his patch job, they moved on. He noticed some brightly colored flowers up ahead, and Taria and Zaya snarkily worked together to harvest one. Somehow they managed to not set off a cloud of poison in the process, much to the surprise of everyone. Oz noticed some tracks that seemed to belong to a humanoid and a number of kobolds, which they assumed was a sign they were heading in the right direction. Tornak created some wind to blow away a cloud of mosquitoes that surrounded the group. Then they unsuccessfully attempted to jump over some poison gas bubbles, which led to more unpleasant times. They kept moving, and the group suddenly heard a sound on the air. Some of them heard singing. Some of them heard humming. Some heard a child's laughter. Whatever they heard, it was a sound from their childhood. Against all odds of probability, by which I mean approximately 0.75%, all of them were charmed by it and started heading in the direction of the sound, swimming their way through the swamp. The reeds themselves were singing. As everyone got closer and settled in beside the plants, the reeds started to grow into their skin. Fate's folly indeed, huh? And that is where we left off.